I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs, serving up ideas for dinner every day from us to you. Today, it's officially cheat day, as we bypass dinner and go direct to dessert and share some of our favorite sweet treats, from a flour-free cake to an indulgent chocolate decadence, even a guest appearance by some fruit covered in sugar. Here on Dinner DeeAs, since Mom might be watching, we're firmly of the opinion that you need to eat your greens and be a fully signed up member of the Clean Plate Club before you get dessert. Except for today. For the next half hour, we're jumping ahead to the end of the menu to revisit some of our favorite dessert ideas from our recipe archive. First up, our good buddy Chef Butta from Tampa's Chena, Michael Butta Cavoli, goes gluten-free to bring us his recipe for an awesome almond cake.
What we have here is we have some almond paste and some sugar mixed up.
Okay.
This here is something that you can buy in the store.
Now this can be found at just a normal grocery store?
Publix.
Publix has this?
Publix has it. I'm sure all the other grocers have it. And it's in the baking section. It is kind of in a weird spot at Publix, but listen, it's
accessible.
It's accessible, and it's in this little small little package. 8 ounces. This is 8 ounces of that with a little bit of sugar that I've chopped up and blitzed together.
Okay, because it doesn't come like that then.
No, it comes in a vacuum sealed block.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got to break that down a little bit.
Kind of like a cookie dough. Almost like a cookie.
Okay.
Yeah, almost like a cookie dough.
Okay.
So first we would add this, and then we're going to add some sugar.
Now that's just white granulated sugar?
White granulated sugar.
Okay.
We also have some almond extract.
Okay.
Yeah, also available in the store. And then we're going to add 8 eggs.
8 eggs, man. Like,
Yes.
This is like, are we like feeding the army, or are we feeding like Rocky on his training? Like 8 eggs.
We'll cut this into
lot.
8 slices, so it's only 1 egg per slice.
Okay, so it's an egg per slice. All right, cool.
This is almond flour, all almond flour.
Now, almond flour. Could you use all-purpose flour?
Yeah, so you could use it. In this recipe, used to have all-purpose flour in it, but I wanted to make something gluten-free to have for our guests. So
Okay. So you get 2 birds, 1 stone by swapping out all-purpose flour to actually add the almond flour, because now it's gluten-free. So now it's a little bit more accessible to anyone.
That's right. So,
Okay.
and that's why I did it. So it took a little time to, see how much flour, replacement flour, because they're definitely not the same.
So a little trial and error, but does it taste the same and comparable, or because it's almond flour and because we're already playing with a lot of almond to begin with, it just heightened it?
You wait till we have this, because you're going to be surprised. Like I've gotten a huge response of how good this cake is. People have asked me for the recipe, and like I said, I'm not a baker. So I kind of just stumbled upon this. I want, at Chena, we kind of do things simply sometimes. And for me, not being a pastry chef, I had to have a dessert that I could get out and serve. So this is just a nice almond cake. It's typical in Italian families to have almond cake.
Okay.
And here's the other piece that people are going to go crazy. There is some butter in this cake. So what we already had on the stove here.
I mean, I would be expecting it, my friend. Okay.
You know what they say about butter, right? Everything tastes better with butter, right?
That's
so here
exactly
we go.
it.
So now,
salted, unsalted butter.
Unsalted butter. Yeah.
Unsalted butter.
Restaurants use all unsalted butter.
Okay.
Don't let anybody fool you. So that was 8 ounces of melted butter.
Now, let me ask you this. As I start to cut along what I just traced, and like I stayed in
Stay in the lines.
I'm staying in the lines here. Okay.
Yeah.
If I didn't do this though, would it just stick to the pan, or is there something else?
You typically you could use a little pan spray.
Okay.
Right, that would help, and maybe a little slight dusting of flour.
Okay. And we're just going to go for the base here. Do we need to kind of?
No.
All right.
We're good.
Mission
All right.
accomplished.
So then we're going to dump.
Look at that.
So this is kind of like a batter, right? So this is a nice, easy batter.
Very simple, accessible ingredients. And you've taken all the trial and error of swapping out the all-purpose flour with the almond flour for everyone at home. So again, you guys have the recipe right there to be able to do this.
And the recipe is per 1 bag of the almond flour that you would buy in the store. So
come on now.
Made very simple. All right, so then this is the fun part. So here now we're going to top it with the nuts. These are just some slivered almonds. You can use sliced almonds. You can use chopped almonds.
Why do you like to use the slivered almonds versus, say, a sliced almond?
I think once this cake is baked, and it's easier just to cut through these almonds here. Honestly, it's really all it is. But when you do this, you got to make sure that you now take these almonds and you kind of smash them into the batter.
Okay.
Because otherwise, once it bakes, if they bake on top of it, you're gonna lose all those. They're gonna fall right off. So you don't want to lose any of the almonds. So you want to make sure that you bat them into
so
the
that
batter.
way it rises together, and
When
that way it's a consistent bite.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it sticks to the cake.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look how easy that is to make a cake. Quick,
literally.
easy, and like from less than 10 minutes. It's like, how can we not try that piece out? So that's going into our oven. And the oven's what, 350?
Yep, 350.
350.
For about 45 minutes.
How do we see if it's done?
Well, you're gonna see it would be a little jiggly.
A
little wiggle, right? A little wiggle.
Jiggle, a little wiggle. Okay.
You don't want it to be a complete wiggle. You want a little wiggle, and then it's gonna finish up when you pull it out.
Okay.
All
So
right?
very technical of how we kind of get to that point.
Well, a little bit, right? So if you get to you pull this all the way out and it's clean, it's done.
It's done.
Right.
All right. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, look at that. Well, yeah, a little tiny piece for me, huh? A little sliver of a cake.
That's only one egg.
Yeah, it's one. That's the one egg. We got to make sure we got the 8 eggs all into 8 slices for that one. Look at that come together. Oh, that looks.
This is still hot and moist, so.
That's beautiful. Let's see what's going on with dessert. Dude, come on now.
It's warm.
It's warm, not just in temperature, but in heart.
Hits all the right feels.
Chef Butta's almond cake recipe is ready to grab at dinnerdeas.com, where you can also see the full episode, including how he makes his family's favorite chicken Milanese. Your dessert decision dilemma only gets worse after the break, as we bring you even more options as a fellow master chef takes a break from going toe-to-toe with Gordon Ramsay to join me to make his chocolate souffle ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. You've been so good. We're letting you skip dinner and go straight to dessert today as we share our favorite recipes from the back end of the menu. Up next, when kids are in the kitchen, dessert usually means a box brownie mix. Not with this guest. Like me, Michael C. Gobbin is a fellow Florida chef who's used his culinary know-how to compete for the title of MasterChef here on Fox. But unlike me, he's only 12 years old. He joined us to make a daring dessert, his chocolate souffle. What are we doing right now?
Right now we're melting the chocolate for that chocolate souffle.
And so, was there anything else inside this?
So I did add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to add your own flavor to it.
So what's the next step then?
I'm taking this off.
Okay.
Now I have to separate my egg yolks because I have to make a meringue.
Whoa, you got the fork out for the eggs?
Yeah.
You got a trick to cracking eggs?
Exactly.
What do you do?
So first I crack it right in the middle,
Okay.
and then I separate this out
Okay.
like that.
So you just went straight in. All right, show that one more time with the Chef Jeff cam. I want everyone to see this one here. Let's get the next egg.
So I'm gonna crack this egg right in the middle. Perfect. Then you want to slowly, because you don't want to break that yolk.
Boom. Dude, you didn't even have a shell left in there either, man.
No.
Nothing left in that one.
Then to separate the yolks, I take my hand
Okay.
and I kind of like bounce it back and forth and let the whites go down. Let them go down. And then I put the yolks in there. And then let's do that same thing for this other yolk.
Dude, that's awesome. You didn't even break the yolk on that one either, because you're just
No.
using really gentle hands.
Hands, exactly.
It's all about having gentle hands. Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
I'm gonna put some cream of tartar in there because you want that meringue to rise beautifully.
Okay.
I'm just gonna close this, lock it. And you want to blend this on a high, like 8 to 10 speed.
Okay.
And then you want this to double in size.
Okay.
And slowly we're gonna add some sugar, just a little bit at a time. You know when it's ready because you can see this will start sticking in and you'll get stiff peaks. And So now our chocolate has cooled, and now we can start adding our egg yolks and our salt in there. If you add the egg yolks quick in there, it's just gonna cook it and scramble it.
Yeah, would you ever eat scrambled eggs with chocolate?
No,
that sounds gross.
Exactly.
All right.
So we're gonna add these in.
Okay, so the chocolate's already been cooled, and so now our eggs can take on all of that. Okay.
We're also gonna add some salt and a pinch of vanilla extract.
Ooh. You know, when I was on MasterChef, I had to make a souffle for Gordon Ramsay too.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was my favorite part of all of MasterChef. So this right here, this is an absolute treat to see it.
And so now we have most of this fold in, and we're gonna slowly add our second batch. Try to get a third at a time. We don't want to add it all at one time.
Okay. So this is where you want to be diligent with your time. You want to be deliberate with it. You want to really kind of get into it, but at the same time, you don't want to go all in.
No.
You just want to do it with a nice little pace. So what's next with this?
We're gonna let this rest because it is kind of warm right now, and we just want this to chill down and maybe firm up a little bit.
Okay. Now we've got our ramekins.
Our ramekins that have been chilled.
Now what's inside that right now?
So we have butter, and we also have some sugar in there so that the souffle does not stick there. When you do the ramekins, you want to paint the butter vertically up and down so that that souffle can rise nicely.
Okay.
And now we're just gonna take this beautiful souffle mixture that we have here, and we're just gonna pour it into there. And we want to fill it really close to the top, probably like
almost to the brim?
Almost to the brim, exactly.
Almost to the brim of it? Okay.
Probably just a little bit more.
And how long do they go into the oven for?
They go into the oven at 400 degrees for 12 to 14 minutes. The smaller ones go in there for 12, and these ones right here should go in there for like 13 minutes basically.
Okay. Is this an opportunity to like walk away from it, or are you like, no, you gotta be in the kitchen?
I have to be in the kitchen watching these things at all times.
What are you looking for then?
Watching them rise. If they don't get a good rise, you know something was up with it.
Dude. I mean, I could just start living in this right now. It is that good, man. I mean, I'm going back for another bite right there. It was light. It's airy. What do you think about it?
Exactly.
Yeah? You did really good, man. We have more from Michael from MasterChef Junior at our website, DinnerDeas.com, including his recipe for flippin' shrimp pesto. After the break, from a dish that's lighter than air to one that might require a new hole in your belt. How to keep out the cold with a Cuban bread pudding ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, or rather Dessert Diaz, since we're skipping dinner to get to the good bit today and bring you some of our favorite final courses from our recipe archive on DinnerDeas.com. On the way next, brace your waistline as we use Cuban bread for this beautiful bread pudding recipe from Kalia McDuffie, owner of 7th & Grove Restaurant and Lounge in Ybor City.
And the good thing about Cuban bread, you can eat it anytime. We keep it in the fridge, you keep it out the fridge.
And it freezes well too.
Yeah, and it freezes well. So even better.
Even better. Okay, so what's the first few steps here to get this going?
Okay, so we're gonna start with our heavy cream.
Okay.
Room temp, cold temp. You know, you have some people, oh, I do mine at room temp, I do mine at this room temp. I do it at anything temp.
Okay. See, that's a spirit. You know it's gonna be good where it's just like, yeah, the temperature that you want to work with, that's the temperature it's gonna be.
It's all preference. Then my liquid egg.
Okay. Now liquid eggs for this one here?
Yes.
Okay.
Restaurants, we have liquid egg everywhere. So,
Okay.
but at home, use shelled eggs.
Perfect.
Crack you 2-3 shell eggs.
Okay.
We have melted butter, I already melted.
Nice.
So I'm gonna put that in there a little. Then I have my cinnamon. So it's kind of like we're doing like a our French toast.
Yep.
We got brown sugar.
Nice.
Yes. Add a little southern flair.
I love it. I love it because this is one of my
The
signatures.
Grove way.
The Grove way. Show me the ways to the Grove here.
And we're gonna use some white sugar.
Love it.
So I hope you're not on a diet.
No, this is one that like you can eat and enjoy because there's so much flavor. There's
Yes.
so much that goes behind this one. This is one, hey, you know what? The diet's tomorrow. Today is about good food.
Because I'm on a diet every day. Here's my vanilla abstract.
All right. And that was
And-
just a little bit of vanilla?
Yes.
Okay.
And secret weapon,
Ooh.
condensed milk.
Condensed milk.
Yes.
Now, what's the purpose of the condensed milk? What do you find when you're adding condensed milk into this recipe?
I like the texture it gives it and the flavor of
Okay.
condensed milk. It pulls everything together.
Nice.
So we're gonna go ahead and pour the mixture over in the Cuban bread.
Nice. And what's the trick here with making sure that you're going to get, the proper cut and size with the Cuban bread? What are you looking for in terms of the size here? Let's just gonna bring one piece up here and just kind of see. So it's probably what, about 1.5 inches by about
Yes.
that? Yeah.
We like ours chunky.
See, that's because it's going to take up all this beautiful liquid
Yes.
flavor, all the sweetness, everything you need for it.
So we got that nice and wet. If you want to add a little more, you can add a little more. I'm gonna add just a tad bit.
Okay.
Because like I said, ours is called Hit Different.
It hits different.
It's gonna
Okay.
hit different. I promise you it's gonna hit different.
I love it.
Okay, we got a little mini skillet. If you don't have a mini skillet at home, use any type of baking pan.
I love it.
Any casserole pan. I know we got casserole pans and they sell casserole pans everywhere. Buttered my skillet.
Come on, you don't want it to burn, you don't want it to stick. Plus, it's butter, so I mean, that's going to help it just bring even more
Right.
flavor
hits
behind
different.
it. It hits different.
It hits different, I promise you. We're gonna put it in the oven on 350.
And that's it. That's done?
It's done.
Okay, fantastic. Come on now. We made the agreement that this is kind of one person, but it could be two because thanks for coming into the Dinner DeeAs kitchen today. This was
Yay.
absolutely fun. Let's go straight into it. And I'm going to, okay, a little bit warm there. Oops. One bite.
Food fight.
Food fight. Food fight, and you are the winner on that one. Absolutely, hands down, the winner on that one. I concede you won that one. That is absolutely fantastic because it was no competition. This is an absolute winner of a dish. DinnerDeeas.com is where you need to go to grab the recipe for that Cuban bread pudding, along with Kalia's Choosy Lover's Chicken. We're taking a quick break to hit the treadmill and work off those calories. But when we come back, we'll put them all right back on with a classic cobbler ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're taking a trip down mealtime memory lane today for second helpings of some of our favorite desserts from our recipe repository at DinnerDeeas.com. Last but not least, another dish from back in the day. A strawberry rhubarb cobbler inspired by a pie our guest chef John Antonaccio from Epicurean first ate when he was working in New York. Now, for those that have never had rhubarb before, what does it taste like?
Raw tastes like nothing.
Okay.
It's like just like a very green vegetable. But when you cook it and add sugar, it's cool because it's kind of bitter. So bitter and sweet go together. It's so nice together.
That was just a little bit of some basil and then also some mint.
And a little bit of mint. Yes.
Okay.
Then obviously sugar. This is going to be. This will add. You don't want to add. You never really want to add too much sugar because of the. You want to keep some of that bitterness from the rhubarb. So this is elderflower liqueur.
Okay.
Which is like kind of like the little secret we like to add to it just to give it a little bit of more freshness.
Okay.
And then what we'll do, as this will sit, it'll start to leach liquid. Add a little pinch of salt because salt will make sugar sweeter. And then just a little bit of flour.
Okay.
So this is like your like cheat as far as making if you wanted to like be like lava. Now we're gonna make the streusel topping.
Let's go for it.
So flour, sugar. Here we're gonna add a little bit of brown sugar. A little pinch of salt. Ginger. This almost like comes off smelling like Christmas a little bit.
Okay.
So good.
Okay.
A little bit of cinnamon. Allspice. And nutmeg. So what you want to do is you want to pour it over. I mean, you could pour it all at once. Let me get the rest of that to melt. And this is all you're doing. So all we're gonna do, you have your baking casserole pan. Just gonna put the fruit in first. Remember, you want all that liquid and juice in there. That's the best part.
That is everything. Oh.
Right, just evenly distribute.
And then the cookie sheet underneath. The purpose for that is?
To catch all the bubbly deliciousness. You don't want to ruin your oven.
Yes.
With some lava, and that's it.
Okay.
Super simple.
So now this is going to go into the oven. How long?
I would say about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. You
Okay.
kind of want to keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Like that right there is everything.
This is the best.
That looks like the best. I mean, it's been smelling so good inside our kitchen here, and it is just so fun to see this all come together here. You know summer's arrived. When you have strawberries, rhubarb, melting vanilla ice cream. I mean, is there anything better than that? Oh, wait, I know. Is it the crumbles?
It's the crumble.
It's all about that. That was the best one because that was a big piece of the crumble. Find the full episode and grab the recipe for Chef John's strawberry rhubarb cobbler at dinnerdeas.com. And that same episode even includes his wife's favorite home-cooked meal, the nicely understated one-pan wonder. And if you make any of our delicious desserts, we want to see how it turns out. Send us a photo. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with more Dinner Deas.